In the distant future, humanity had long since spread across the stars. Their colonies, spread over dozens of planets, had seen peace for generations. But peace, as history showed, was a fragile thing. And when something precious is threatened, humanity's true strength emerges in ways no one could anticipate. The Galactic Council, composed of the most powerful alien species in the galaxy, had always considered humanity a wild card. They were primitive in many ways, their technological advancement nowhere near that of the Karath or the Xelnari. But what they lacked in experience, they made up for in one thing: their unyielding spirit. The Karath, an insectoid species known for their cunning and ruthless ways, had long held a grudge against humanity. Their expansive empire, built on the backs of conquered worlds, had seen humans as little more than an inconvenience. Their colonies were few, scattered at the edges of the known universe, but they were growing. The Karath knew that humanity's ambition would soon put them on a collision course with their own dominance. The tipping point came when the Karath decided to assert their authority over the human colonies. They had already made moves to seize trade routes that passed through human space. Their fleets arrived at the outer rim of the human colonies, demanding tribute and submission. The humans, however, did not bend to threats, as the Karath had hoped. The Karath made a grave mistake when they destroyed the mining colony of Astara 9. The colony, an outpost deep within the asteroid belt of a remote system, was home to over 10,000 civilians. The Karath had considered it an insignificant settlement, one they could easily erase to send a message to the rest of humanity. But they underestimated the resilience of the human spirit. Captain Jax Riker was a military veteran and commander of the human fleet in the region. He was a man of few words but immense resolve. His reputation had spread across the stars, and even the Karath knew his name. When news of Astara 9's destruction reached him, Riker's first instinct was not to call for reinforcements or retreat to safer zones. No, Captain Riker knew what was required: a response. "We're going to show them what happens when you anger humans," he muttered to his crew as they prepared their fleet for what was to come. The humans had always been underestimated. The Karath, with their technologically superior fleets and ruthless tactics, thought they could crush humanity's will. They didn't realize that humans, when pushed too far, would fight with a fury that would bring entire civilizations to their knees. The human fleet, though smaller than the Karath Armada, was a force unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Riker's fleet consisted of battle-hardened veterans, many of whom had served in the wars that had shaped the galaxy's current peace. But it wasn't just their experience that made them formidable. It was their determination. Humanity fought with the belief that no one had the right to erase them. They had built their world from nothing, and, if necessary, they would do it again. The battle that followed was nothing short of a spectacle. The Karath underestimated the humans' ability to adapt and fight back. At first, it seemed as though the Karath would dominate, their massive ships easily outmatching the human fleet in firepower. But the humans fought with a tenacity that the Karath had never encountered. Riker's tactics were unconventional, throwing the Karath into disarray. He knew the Karath had grown complacent, believing their strength could win every battle. But humans, they adapted. They learned. Every time the Karath launched a new wave of attacks, the humans countered with innovations that threw their opponents off balance. One by one, the Karath's fleets began to fall, and as each ship was destroyed, a message was broadcasted across the galaxy. This is what happens when you anger humans. The Karath didn't know how to handle the sheer unpredictability of their enemy. While they operated in large, organized fleets, humans fought in smaller, more agile groups, often outmaneuvering them and striking where the Karath least expected. The human fleet used the debris from the destroyed ships to create new weapons, repurposing technology they had scavenged from the wreckage. They knew how to use everything at their disposal, and that was their greatest strength. The turning point came when Riker himself led a daring raid on the Karath's flagship, the Xalak. It was a ship of legend, a behemoth of destruction that had never been bested. But the humans were not deterred. With a small team of elite soldiers, Riker boarded the ship, bypassing its advanced defenses and making his way to the command center. "Riker to the bridge," he transmitted, his voice calm, despite the chaos unfolding around him. The Karath commander, a towering creature with sharp mandibles, turned to face him. "You are too late, human. Your fleet is broken." Captain Riker's smile was as cold as the vacuum of space. "Maybe. But you're already dead." In a matter of moments, Riker's team disabled Exalex's core systems, sending the entire ship into a catastrophic meltdown. As the flagship exploded in a burst of energy, the remaining Kref ships faltered, their morale shattered. Humanity had done what no one thought possible. They had defeated the Karaf at their own game. The message spread throughout the galaxy. When you anger humans, you unleash a force that cannot be stopped. Their fury is limitless, their resolve unwavering. They will never be slaves to anyone. The Karath were forced to retreat, humiliated and broken. The galaxy watched in awe as humanity stood tall, their reputation solidified. The era of human dominance had begun. Captain Jax Riker stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking out into the vastness of space. "Let them know," he whispered to his crew, "this is just the beginning." And with that, humanity's legacy was sealed. They were no longer an underdog in the galaxy. They were a force to be reckoned with, and those who would dare threaten them would soon learn that there were no limits to what humans were willing to fight for. After all, when you anger humans, you awaken a power that has the potential to change the very fabric of the universe. And that power? It was unstoppable.